the influence of merger and acquisition on shareholders' value and market return, and its analysis of an Indian cement industry. The first I'll tell you that why I've chosen this, because cement is a emerging sector in India, and now it's contribute in a GDP, and the second thing, it is the largest producer in the globally. In India is the second largest, and the first is a China. And it's why I inclined of this study, because uh, the main thing, because in the COVID time also, a lot of merger and acquisition happened in the cement industry, because I took a data of, sorry, because this analysis, why I took, because the main thing, the cement creates a corporate restructuring the major role, and it's create a wealth for stakeholders as well as for the company's performance. This study is basically sees, like in overall the first 1999, the KPMG says that the 53% of merger and acquisition is a failure and it won't create any value. So I felt if won't create a value, then why merger and acquisition is happening? And basically in the COVID time, because I took a cement industry, and basically the company I chosen based on their capex, and the second part, the deal structure. So in that, what I found it, like some studies says that there is a one impact, and they are taking very short term data. Either they are taking only company's financial, and some researcher, they took a data based on the company's financials. But it is a one way of study happened. That's inclined to me कि why, if the merger and acquisition plays a negative impact, and they took a very short term. So I had done the integrated study, that is a longitudinal study, and in that I had taken the in the literature basically कि how the stock prices before the announcement and after the announcement effect. For that, um, I had been to 40 literatures, and in that I found 3 to 4 gaps. And the gap, basically, it is based on the analyzing the stock price volatility and based on the short term. The, the second thing I found it, the company's functional, both financials and operational performance, and the treated in the dimension as a isolation. Because it is a very shorter duration, they took like 1 year or after post merger only. Because of that also it happened. And the third part, the sector specific research in India, that is a capital incentive industry. So despite me the economic significance of the sector, so I had made my two objectives, that the first is to capture the investor sentiment and the market perception of the deal, potential value creation. And the second part is based on the company's key financial ratios, because that makes sense, because the company liquidity position, profitability, value creation, and the growth. So here I took two hypotheses, that the first is the announcement of merger or acquisition does not result in any significant abnormal return in the stock prices, the acquiring firm during the event window. And the second, there is no significant impact in the operational of the acquiring firm after the merger, and indicating the transactions has no measurable impact in the long term financial growth. Here I took a dual aspect methodology, and that research method, the first I took a data collection happened. The data collection, I took a secondary data, and that data I took based on the company moneycontrol.com, NSC India, yahoo.com, and the screener.com. From there I took their financial data, as well as I took their stock data, market data. So my sampling date is based on the non-probability sampling and adopted for the study. And I have the taken the major merger happened between the 2018 to March 31st, 2023. And in the 5 years, I took a 4 companies, that is Ambuja Cement, ACC, then Dalmia and Jayaprakash Associate. So my analytical framework, because here it is, I took a dual way. That first is a event analysis and the second is a financial ratio. Event analysis I had done for to know the company's stock prices before merger and after the announcement of merger, and ratio analysis because of the company's operational and financial efficiency. So here the major ratios I used it. In my event analysis study, I had done here 281 days prior and after 31 days, so total 250 days window. That is my estimation window. And the event window will be for the 61 days trading, that is a pre and post announcement of the merger. So here in my estimation window, I took a expect market model, that is my expected return is equal to alpha plus beta and market into market return. And there the slope is we are getting and we got the value. And for the event window, I took a natural log that RM R equal to, that is natural log current price of the day divided by the preceding price of that preceding day. Here I found it like estimation window talk about my expected return and the event window talk about the actual return, and the difference where I got an abnormal return. From that I took a T value, I found it. So majorly I found that the T value is greater than 1.96 in most of the sector, most of the companies. And second, I had done the financial ratios. In that, the first is a current ratio. There is I had done the average of pre-merger and the post-merger, and the impact I saw the majorly except Jayaprakash Associate, remaining three performed well. So that I found my current ratio was also improved. That is a 2:1, sometime 1.96 I got it. And the same thing in the liquidity ratio, I got it is a means they are able to manage their liquidity position. Then return on capital employed, that also increase. EPS increase, but only the one thing I found in that for in my analysis, Jayaprakash Associate was not having that much dividend given before, and they didn't declare at the after also. But apart from three had done well. In my all this financial data analysis, I found it is an impact. So in Ambuja Cement was a very strong and sustainable positive abnormal return on the post event. And the significantly effect because after that window I took 30 days prior and after the announcement of 30 days, that it's impacted in the Ambuja Cement is that day one, the price was 2.79, day 5 it increased. So it was a significant value that is greater than 1.960 value. And the ACC also have some significant value. The same thing in the Dalmia Bharat, the 10th day, it shows a near about the significant value, but not reach that level. And the Jayaprakash, not significantly, the T value observed. So my key ratio shows all the companies show the enhance the liquidity post merger with the current and the liquid ratio, and profitability also return on net worth they manage, and the return of capital employed also it is more, and EPS also the companies given, and the DPS as well. So the reduce the leverage because I found out that the debt equity ratio it's reduced and the interest coverage ratio they managed. So the operational efficiency I found it is overall improved in the operational and financial efficiency in the post merger, highlighting the benefits from consolidation. So in my conclusion, I found that like whatever they told in the previous researcher, they had done one-sided analysis. That's why it is in my mind, I want to take and they took a data very short term, but I took a data for the 5 years. That 5 years is the preceding 2 years, succeeding 2 years, and the day merger happened, the announcement happened. So the 5 years data will give me the full longitudinal study that how it happened and why the people are saying, because merger and acquisition plays a vital role for the value creation of the shareholders as well as for the operational and financial efficiency for the company's growth. And the thing second, the short-term market reaction wise found that here in my analysis, Ambuja Cement and ACC had performed well and they have a significant abnormal return. And the long-term operational performance also for the company, it is good. Their EPS increased in the post-merger. Dividend paid by the company also increased for Ambuja as well as for Dalmia. Only the dividend not given by the Jayaprakash Associate. And the overall conclusion, I found that the merger and acquisition in Indian cement industry successfully generated short-term shareholders value and driven the long-term operational and financial efficiency and improvement. So my findings undergo the strategical important and the positive impact for merger and acquisition in the cement industry. So my first objective was it's create a event analysis. So my null hypothesis they rejected because it found that it is a positive impact in an event analysis when I had done for the 5-year integrated study. My second objective was also based on the financial ratio, how it performed. So my second null hypothesis also rejected because here it is a positive impact in the operational and financial efficiency. So in my analysis, I found that merger and acquisition plays a vital role and it's create a significantly impact in GDP. It's now 1.5% and the target will be the 5.1% in 2025 to 2030. So it's India is the largest player in a cement, second largest player in the producer cement industry, and the first is a steel. So our main target, because cement is why it is important, because in everywhere in infra in real estate without cement can't. So that's why I took this study, and it is my very initial study taken. And now next I want to do the like 10 to 15 years data and most merger whatever, because in India now the major sector in the cement is first is Ultratech and the second is Adani. And Adani entered in the cement industry in 2022 when it's with Qualcomm it's take a intake of Ambuja and ACC. So here I am concluding my part. Thank you so much.